Today I'm going to talk about weapons. The book in Suburi, just number one, Ken Suburi, which is the heart of Aikido in all Aikido techniques and everything. To understand what really happens with a cut, I think is extremely important. And I want to talk about specifically the feeling of compression. And I think it's something that people may not have heard, or when you kind of experience and been doing it, you may understand what I'm talking about. Is you're kind of building a compression which feels the power from here more, and the Ken is giving you that sensation or the feeling of that compression, and how Taino Henko works with that compression, and not just Taino Henko but all the techniques really. But that is why Ken Suburi is extremely important, and I'm going to demonstrate the first Ken Suburi. The compression takes place because the cut is not done from the arms. It's not this. It's done from here. In fact, when you begin in Ken no Kame, the feeling is already the same as no Ken. And you've got this Kame, the stance. The feeling is here, so you bring your hips forward, or driving your hips forward into that feeling. So whether you hold a Ken or not, the feeling is still here. Now when I cut, a few things is I don't move the back foot. That is part of creating that compression. Now, when I say I don't move the back foot, it's because I'm doing the cut on the spot. There are various different cuts where you go forward and backward. That obviously the foot would have to move. But when you're doing on the spot, it helps you to feel the compression more. Now, at this stage, when I bring the Ken up, I don't actually bring the Ken up on its own. I bring the Ken up from the left hand and the left hip. This is the feeling already. So it's not dead hip, that's dead hip. So here, I'm doing it that slow to try and show you. Also, when I raise my Ken, is I'm pulling my right hip in, and that's what driving the right foot back. The right foot is not stepping because I'm making it happen. If you have that hip, nothing happens. You would have to make that movement from your knee. That is not the feeling of it. The feeling is driving your right hip back, so the whole leg is dragged back. So first left hip, and then right, and then forward. Forward, right hip forward, back and forward, back and forward, And then there's the angle. And what happens is, the feeling is already you feel pushing from the back foot and your right leg as it grounds for the cut. The power sensation is rooted from the ground up, and that is what brings the compression of your hip. It's a hard thing to be getting at first, because we've all gone through physical cut. Arms, 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 position of the leg, position of the legs, and we're not getting it. We're not finding it. And it takes a while before this is discovered. So you can see a cut with no filling. It's physical cut. When you begin to use your feet as a ground force and the hip, back foot still, the other thing is to find the koku on the left hand and on the right hand. And when you cut, this is doing that feeling, and then with the hip, it's not doing this feeling. So you've got to find the koku in both hands. There. Now the compression has taken place. When you do the tano ankle, this is compressing it. So you already begin the compression. It begins, grab, down, turn. Compression is still here. Compression. So you really, same as this. This is relax. Some people think they have to apply a lot of strength. No, koku and compression from here. And that's what drives uke power down, and uke can't bring it up because the compression is so strong that you can't bring the hand up. It's all down here. Whether he pulls, whether he pushes up, it's still connected. And this is from doing the Ken. When you don't do the Ken, you then have a physical tano ankle. This is what I call a physical tano ankle. Taking the powers up here. Power from here, relax, spread. It's completely different feeling. This feeling is from the Ken. Compression feeling. So when you strike, you have a compression feeling here. Compression feeling. Like this. Compression feeling. When you haven't got this feeling, arms, arms, it becomes very obvious. And that is the reason why we practice weapons, not as a way of learning to strike. Of course, there's that element of strike, but it's way deeper than this. That's what I'm trying to say. Deep meaning of the cut, the underlying of the cut, is getting this feeling of compression. feeling of the hip. And then everything else change because you're not offering your hand physically. Compression, just gently, gently, gently. And then if you have to move sideways, compression, compression, just hips. Aikido begins to be on another level, another horizon level. And that's why I was fortunate enough to learn the weapons, and I could see the big difference they offer. Aikido without the weapons, it's not enough in my view, and that's why to study the weapons as they are from Sato Sensei, with precise footwork, they are exactly the same, and why the movement, the second Ken Suburi, is Ai-hanmi. They all have a very precise reason for sphinx body shape, but most of all is every time you cut is getting back to the compression, feeling of it. So I hope I was able to show you this feeling of that compression, which will definitely aid your training. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe in the link below the video, and if you want to receive videos quite as soon as they release, by subscribing you'll be able to see them quite quickly. Thank you.